be my authentic self.
Mm,
I have to be myself. Working in different corporate spaces, you learn to assimilate.
mm,
Being an entrepreneur, you have the right to actually pick your clients,
mm,
right? I always feel like I gravitate to my people, you
mm.
know?
Melanie
That's
P.
scary.
Talk to
That's
him.
scary with Melanie P. That's scary with Melanie P. Come on. Here we go.
Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Melanie P podcast. I am your girl, Melanie P, and we are here with another exciting podcast episode. I have a special guest, drum roll, magical drum roll, Sharese. How are you doing today, girl?
Um,
Ooh.
I'm a little tired, but I'm feeling good.
You the second guest in a row. Oh my God. And you're the second Libra guest I had in a row that said they was tired and suffering with what is wrong with y'all? Oh my God. Suffering with
Got to get
sleep.
that sleep in. Sleep
Oh
is
my
very
God.
important.
Jesus. Okay, y'all. Welcome to another episode. We have a special guest host today, Sharese, our residential commercial real estate guru. And we are here to talk about all things commercial real estate and then a few little hot topics as well. Make sure you have hit the subscribe button. Okay, I'm having content just vomiting out out everywhere, y'all. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, we start every episode with a mental health check-in. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How's your week going? How's your year going? How's your life going? Sharese, how is your mental health today?
My mental health is good. I am well, I'm feeling well
Mm-hmm.
and very optimistic. So
Mm,
yeah, I would say it's good.
good. Optimistic. What are you optimistic about?
This year,
Mm,
commercial real estate, finding people who are like really involved in commercial real
right.
estate, helping them get invested, doing that for myself, my family, just putting in some coins, okay?
Getting to the bag in 2024. I know that's right.
Yes,
Ooh,
and giving back.
right.
And
Giving back.
feeling good about my body. Okay.
Mm, girl,
Yeah.
don't bring up the body, girl. Listen, I got on that scale this morning and it was not a number I wanted to see, and I was very sad. But I know it's because it's that time of the month, and I had the horrible case of the munchies. Yeah, if I told you what I ate yesterday, you would be like, "Girl, just give it up and try again next summer," because, whew, Jesus, I need to lose at least like 6 or 7 pounds before the summertime come. But anyway, mental health
But
for
you
me,
got that.
huh?
And the scale is not our friend. Okay. So
It's not my
we worry about
friend.
what we put in our body.
I know,
Period.
but I need
Okay.
that scale to be in a certain number, and I don't want it to be in a certain number. You know what I'm saying? So when I got on that scale, and I said, "Oh my God, 600-pound life, here I come!" Like Jesus Christ,
Girl, no, ma'am.
Lord Jesus. I feel like I was a member of the big back community when I got on the scale this morning. But anyway, I'm optimistic, like you said, about losing this weight. My mental health
Period.
is really good, girl. I'm feeling really good. I'm just feeling really, really, really good. And it's so funny. I'm feeling really optimistic about podcast stuff and just about life in general. The weather is looking good in the QC. Finally, the sun is out. The sun will shine tomorrow. I am very happy about the weather. I think I said a million times on the podcast how, like, I was getting a little bit of seasonal depression because it was just so dark. It was just always dark. It always rains like on the weekend. It was given just mental health in the gutter for the first part of the new year. But yeah, I'm feeling really, really, really good. So Sharese, tell the people who you are.
Well, that's good. You feeling good. We love that, right? We love to see our sisters feeling good. So
Yes.
that's really good, and you deserve that. And
Mhm.
like the weather is feeling really nice. Um, so yeah, I'm ready to sunbathe. That's the thing.
I know
No
that's
reason.
right. Get that vitamin D.
Yeah. But as you said, I am a commercial broker in both South Carolina and North Carolina, and I specialize in retail and industrial properties. I help business owners focus on their business while I focus on their commercial real estate business.
Mm.
So essentially, commercial real estate can be very complex.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you have a team who's been in it for over 25 years and you have mentors, it is a it's an amazing thing.
Oh
So
my
that's
God.
what I do. I'm a
Yeah.
commercial broker, um, 9 to 5 now, and
Mm.
yeah, I'm so yeah.
And what was life before commercial real estate?
Hmm. So life before commercial real estate was me being an HR
Mm-hmm.
technical recruiter,
Mm-hmm.
corporate. So I did that. I did
Mm-hmm.
technical recruiting for over 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to that, I was a Waffle House manager.
Mm.
What a lot of people don't understand is business.
Right.
You learn inventory, you learn P&L, hiring, firing, um, inventory. I don't know if
Yeah.
I said that. But you learn a lot within the Waffle House structure, and
Mm-hmm.
also like being a technical recruiter. So I
Right.
was doing sales. I was really enjoying my role.
Yeah.
I really was. However, I got laid off,
Mm.
and once upon getting laid off, I was like, you know what? I'm so tired of having to depend on others for my money.
Right.
Like I have to legitimately. I rather learn to get in my own.
Mm.
So I want, you know,
Right.
less dependency.
Right.
So with that being said, commercial real estate was something I was doing part time.
Mm-hmm.
God just had other plans,
Mm.
and now He is allowing me to do it full time. I have had so many doors open for
Mm-hmm.
me just being with allies. So it's been a good road so far, and
Nice.
I feel like everything I've done in the past has led me to
Mm.
what I'm doing now as a commercial broker.
I forgot you was at the Waffle House, girl. I totally forgot about that. Listen, I am a stand for the Waffle House, girl. My order was the All-Star Special. I had 2 orders that I like. Let me tell you something, because I forgot about the Waffle House. Listen, I love me some Waffle House. I had 2 favorite
Thanks
orders.
for the club. Everybody came.
All-Star Special with eggs, soft, bacon, grits, toast. And then if I was feeling real extra on the weekends, I would get a sausage, egg, and cheese on toast, a waffle, and hash browns with cheese and ham.
Wow.
I
That's
know.
a lot, Mel.
That is a lot, girl. Girl, that's a lot. That's probably why I'm
Okay, so
having.
what I can say, I did really like the hash browns. Like I
Mm,
like them so much that Ian asked for those like for breakfast. You know, I cook
girl,
Ian breakfast.
I
So
can. I can imagine living
like
with somebody who know how to cook that Waffle House breakfast, girl. Oh my god, I need to come out. Listen, I
I
forgot
do
all
enjoy
about. I need to come to
cooking. I
your
will say
house
that.
for breakfast this weekend,
You
girl. Oh
should.
my god, make me a whole Waffle House breakfast. Jesus Christ. But anyway, thank you for that introduction. It is so funny because I think that you and I met like what 2, 3, 4 months ago, 3 months ago.
When was that? Was that in November?
December. It was in December, right?
Okay.
We met in December for working with Southern Edge Liquor, #1
Right.
liquor, black-owned liquor brand. And
Very
tell me, I'm going to give you a little pop quiz. What was the sentence that you said that I will never forget that night?
What? Um,
You know
was
what the
it
sentence
that
was.
married women always get married again? That one? What?
What did you keep saying over and over again that night at the end?
Oh, I had to watch my baby hair.
You had to get home and watch. I was like, girl, stay out. Let's have fun. Let's party. You younger than me. I was like, let's stay out and party. I gotta go home and watch my baby. I was like, what, girl? What? I'm thinking you had a whole little baby. You got a grown man for a son. I was like, oh my
Just
God.
wrestling. So, we want to make sure we keep like the
Mm,
fungus and all of that
yes.
together. So, yes, I
Mom
have to
of the
make sure I watch.
year. And you watched that
That's
baby
my.
hair that night, didn't you?
I sure enough did. That's my baby.
I know that's right, girl. Your son is so cute.
Yeah.
So listen, guys, before we get into the conversation of everything commercial real estate, I wanted to do a quick little hot topic. And Sharese, you did mention that you have a son, so I really wanted to get your take on this story. So as we know, it's been all over social media. Drea Michelle is pregnant. She is 39 and pregnant by a 22-year-old NBA player, Jalen Green. Now, I don't have no son. I have two daughters. I don't have a son. But I really want to hear, before I give you my opinion, which you might not agree with, but I want to hear your opinion on this 39-year-old woman getting pregnant by this 22-year-old NBA player. Sharese, what are your thoughts on that? I'm scared.
Um, I don't. I feel like everybody has their own relationship,
Mm-hmm.
right? I particularly wouldn't. I don't want to go over 10 years, right? Me personally.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's
I
good.
mean, that's a lot for me, but hey, to each his own. If you like it, I love it.
So if your son, he became 22,
Hmm.
and he came home with a woman and she was 39, they were just dating, it was getting serious, would you be okay with that? If he was in love with her?
What is my son doing? Because I mean, that will play a factor,
What do
right?
you mean?
Um, so Jalen, well, that's his name,
Yeah,
right?
Jalen. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's a basketball player
Mm-hmm.
making millions,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe he's the first millionaire, and he had to grow up more
Yeah.
than others. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe they want to have a baby. He want to have a baby. She want to have a baby, so they have a baby.
But
You
what
just
about your
never.
son? If your son came home with Drea Michelle, okay.
It would depend on the factors. It would depend if he's
Okay.
like at home. Well, first of all, in
Mm.
Jesus' name, he
You
would not
rebuke
do
that,
that.
yes, yes.
Um, right. So, I mean, well, he could be at home if
Yeah.
he's doing something, if he
Yeah.
making money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if like he was 22 years old making millions on his own, um, he's very intelligent. I
Yeah.
mean, the man can play chess like who knows? I
Mm.
mean, he's very smart, so
Right.
maybe he could.
Wow. So you'd be
Yeah,
open to that if he was
it
rich
would.
at that age.
Huh?
If he was rich and stable at that age, you'd be open to that.
Yes, and then not only
Wow.
that, I want to definitely feel out the woman.
Okay.
Like, what is this for? Like, are you a gold digger? We definitely going with the prenup,
Right.
stuff like
Right.
that. As I would sign one as well. There's things like that. But yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
See, I thought you was
what
gonna
do you
go in a whole
think?
different direction with that, but I agree. Like, and here's the thing,
Okay,
I agree, and I feel afraid to agree because I feel like everybody's like, "Oh my God, what is she doing? It's horrible." But he is a grown man. He is legal. She's not committing any crimes. You know what I'm saying? He is rich. He's stable. Whatever, he made a choice. He made a choice. I mean, I feel like everybody is coming for Drea, and I totally get that she is. Well, she's not even the adult in the situation because they're both adults. You know what I'm saying? She is older, I suppose, and she's supposed to be wiser. And I get that everybody want to go and kind of dig in her past, and that she's this and she's done that. But I feel like men do something similar all the time. So it'd be
right,
one thing if he was like illegal, but he's
correct.
he's a legally grown man that made a grown choice and he has to live with his grown decision. So I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, he has enough money to take care of Drea and the child. So you lay down, you got to live with it. 18
Agreed.
years. 18
I mean,
years.
Regardless, you lay down, you gotta live with it. Like whether
Exactly.
you have the money or not. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying? That's what
Exactly.
all men should think.
Right.
Um,
I am so surprised with your
but
answer, girl, because I know how much you are in love with your son. And I know I always wanted that, mother son. I feel like I can't speak to that piece, but like most of my friends have, sons, and it seems like the son mother relationship is just something so 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 special, and they're like, not my boy, not my boy. You know what I'm saying? So maybe I was thinking that maybe I was thinking wrong since I don't have that experience, but I love your answer. I love your answer.
yeah, I mean, I love my baby,
Yeah.
right? But he's also a baby and he will soon be a grown man.
Right.
So, I pray that he knows how to be a grown man
Yeah.
and, hey, you have a child, you need to take
Right.
care of this child.
Right. Right.
Um,
Period.
so even with that being said, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be that mom who's crazy over,
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
the girl does want to have more kids. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like I want to I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to be that mom, but
Yeah.
I will love it, and I will like
That is
check her
such a good
out.
answer.
Yeah.
Oh, you are so noble and so you are so noble. Okay. Listen, ma'am, let's get into the conversation. So, a lot of my friends were very excited for this episode because, a lot of times we talk about like real estate like homes, you know what I'm saying? Like what's that called? I guess what's it's not commercial, it's
It's residential real
residential.
estate.
Boom, there you go. So a lot of people talk about residential real estate, and a lot of people don't know. Like I remember when you and I was having a conversation and we were downtown Fort Mill, and you was kind of explaining to me like how commercial real estate works and how much wealth you can get from commercial real estate, from like buying a property. And if you buy a property and it has different, I guess rooms or buildings or whatever, like inside that commercial property, yeah, you can rent it out to several different people. And I'm like, this sounds really good. Why do I not know about this? Like, why are we not talking about this, So let's get into these questions. Okay,
Right.
so I think I just asked this question, but I want you to kind of explain to the listeners and to the viewers, what is the difference between, commercial real estate and residential real estate? Like, what is the difference?
So commercial real estate is typically used for business purposes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we have our churches, schools, which is in the category of specialty,
Mm-hmm.
office buildings, retail, industrial properties used for businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas residential is more personal and individuals are looking for homes. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes there are investors, of course, looking to be landlords to rent out properties as well.
Mm-hmm.
However, when it gets to multifamily, multifamily is 5 or more rooms, and
Mm.
then residential is a quadruplex and below. So
Oh,
it will only be considered commercial if it has 5 or more dwellings. When it's
really?
multifamily, yes.
Huh. I have more questions than what I put down here. Now that you now that you said that, girl. Um, this is not a question on the list, so please don't kill me. But when I hear you say that, the first thing I think about is like financing and like loans, right? So like when you have financing for like, and I don't know if you know about this, but like and I can edit this out, you don't know, but for residential, right? Like I understand how residential loans and like mortgages are. I've purchased 2 homes in my lifetime so far. I'm gonna get many more,
Okay.
but right, okay, but is it a very drastically different loan process from like residential to commercial?
Um, it's not different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different in the numbers,
Okay.
right? So residential disclaimer, I am not a lender.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I am a commercial real estate
Yes.
broker.
Yes.
Um, my license number is 116
Okay. Yeah.
133.
Yes.
South Carolina and North Carolina 324 436.
Say that one more time for
I feel
everybody.
I just think I have to put that out there. 324 436 North Carolina and 116 133 South Carolina.
Got it.
I want to make sure that that's somewhere in the episode because I
Mm.
forgot about that at the
Yeah. Right.
beginning. Either way,
Yeah.
so residential is typically individuals with those properties. Now, with the financing, it's different in the aspect where it is more, you have more LTV. So with a residential loan, you're paying 5% down payment,
Mm-hmm.
maybe at the most,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whereas in commercial real estate, you could pay between 30 to 40%.
Mm.
Right. However, they're not looking strictly at your credit score as the lender or the borrower. Well, I'm sorry, as the borrower.
Mm-hmm.
What they're looking at is the income that property will produce. So
Mm.
we're thinking of commercial real estate as business entities, right? So they have to generate some type of income.
Right.
So banks also do lend on that as well.
Oh wow. Hmm.
Yeah, it's a bigger aspect. I really
Yeah.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, girl. All right. So here's the thing. Everywhere you turn, somebody is becoming a real estate agent. Everywhere. Real estate, real estate. Get into real estate, get into real estate. Like everywhere you turn. Like, why do you think there's such an emphasis and focus on becoming a real estate broker versus a commercial real estate broker?
The access, of
Mm.
course. And I feel like that's something we're familiar with,
Right.
right? So you said it yourself. You've never heard of commercial real estate.
Right.
Neither have I. Well, I heard of it I would say around I returned 20, so I would say around 2020. I knew I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to sell like some type of hotel or retail stores. I met a gentleman in Starbucks and he was like, "Well, you can sell hotels here. Like, who told you you couldn't sell hotels? Like, you
Mm.
like it's not a big requirement. You have a real estate license, like you can sell." And I'm like, "What? Didn't I know?"
Right.
That's when I found out that was commercial real estate. I moved here to Fort Mill, and
Mm-hmm.
then I moved here. I'll say the Charlotte area
Yeah.
because I am in Charlotte a lot as well.
Yeah.
So with Crew Charlotte, I joined the organization, and I learned so much more about commercial real estate and women doing commercial real estate. So you have to do research.
Mm.
I
Right.
think research is very important. So limited access and just thinking, okay, I want to. We don't know about it.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel so scared because I worked for this company that was a commercial that worked in a commercial real estate space. So let me clarify. I know about commercial real estate, but I didn't know about the attainability of commercial real estate. In terms of like us being able to attain and purchase, commercial real estate. Like to me, it just seemed so far fetched. And again, so many people focus on buying properties, but like when I was talking to you, I was like, I need to focus on buying commercial, like not just properties, because it seemed like there's like the return seems like it would be greater from a commercial real estate than from residential, especially like to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, but one commercial real estate property versus a home that you're renting out. To me, the income seems greater in the commercial real estate lane than it would be potentially in the residential lane. Is that right? Is that right way of thinking?
I feel like that's the right way of thinking, but
Mm-hmm.
also understanding that commercial real estate is a long game, right?
Mm.
So it's not something where it's residential, you're paying 500,000 at the
Mm-hmm.
probably at the most, to flip a home or things like that, and you can see a return by flipping a house. Whereas commercial, you have this strip mall,
Mm-hmm.
you have to ensure that these tenants are okay in this strip mall,
Mm.
keep it occupied, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You also have to ensure that you're saving for maintenance.
Mm.
Because roofing it can be expensive, and so it is HVAC, right?
Right.
So ensuring all now there are big
Expensive.
liabilities. So
Mm-hmm.
commercial real estate does generate more.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is more to do.
Right. And I didn't think
With
about
that
that, like about the expenses. And see, I'm thinking big picture. I'm thinking about like, light, I guess, because like light bills, like insurance, I feel like all that would probably be a lot higher.
So typically, as a landlord,
Mm-hmm.
now your tenants are paying that taxes, that insurance, that common area maintenance,
Mm-hmm.
and they're also going to pay that rent.
Mm.
You should have, or there should be a way you've worked out the numbers to ensure or to show that with the market rents that you're getting, and the market rents that you're getting, that all your tenants are paying will at least show you some type of profit within 2 to 3 years,
Mm.
right?
2 to 3
Or
years.
there are investors who do 5 years. It just depends,
Right.
depending on your capital and depending
Mm.
how soon you want your funds.
Wow.
So with that being said, you do that,
Mm-hmm.
and from there you're able to understand what you will be getting from commercial real estate.
Right. Mm.
Yeah.
I felt empowered and again, and now I feel poor again because I'm thinking about the
No, I
expenses.
feel like it's always me. I want to always ensure that people are aware,
Educated,
right?
yeah.
Not just of the good, but of
Yeah.
the other side as well, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make sure it's risky like stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's however, with the right team
Mm-hmm.
who knows which property to go to, which location, what retailers
Mm-hmm.
such as Starbucks and all of this are looking for a certain place, certain plot,
Mm-hmm.
it's inevitable, right?
Mm-hmm. So
But
when you
I
say,
just want
yeah, I'm sorry, I cut you off, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, and commercial real estate, with it being a lot of funds, most people have partners, This is
Mm.
not something you typically go in with all by yourself.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have to work together.
Partners. So like partners, So I'm just thinking about my friends who are excited for this episode. I'm thinking about, okay, like when you say partners, do you mean like for your typical client, who would be there? Like, is it like marital partner? Is it just business partner? Like, what type of partner should someone look when they're going into this investment?
That depends on your workflow, right?
Okay.
How you work, how you see business, how your partner sees business.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I always stress to have a real estate attorney. Number one,
Mm.
draw up files to ensure how you will be paid,
Mm-hmm.
how your partners will be paid, and how you guys make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
That is always upfront, whether it's family, boss, whatever.
Mm.
That needs to be done.
So when you
For
get
sure.
this, like, because I'm thinking about Starbucks. So when you get this like commercial real estate property, are you like, because I'm guessing, what are you responsible for? Like, let's say Starbucks moves into one of your spaces in your property. What are you responsible for? Because I know you said the roof, you could be responsible for, I guess, insurance. Like, but as far as like what's happening in that space, you're not responsible for it. It's the tenant.
As a landlord, as a tenant, you are responsible. It is commercial real estate is as close to corporate
Mm-hmm.
as corporate is.
Got
Okay, so
it.
it's
Got
a
it.
typical 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that to say it will be a lot of contracts, right? The same as
Right.
residential, there are contracts. However, when you're leasing a property, for instance, if I was a tenant and I was leasing a
Mm-hmm.
property, my expectations or my role in this building will only depend upon the lease I have with my
Mm.
landlord, the
Got it.
person who owns the property, right?
Got it.
So you as a landlord make the suggestion. Well, you as a landlord can hire someone
Mm-hmm.
to make suggestions for you on what you should pay for what should the tenant be paying for
Mm-hmm.
rent, things like that, and also hire a real estate attorney to make sure the lease is ironclad to what you want or what you
Mm.
expect from your tenants.
Okay.
Some landlords could say, "Hey, I want you to pay HVAC up to $500. I'll pay the rest. You have to pay for like I said, the taxes, the insurance, the common area
Mm-hmm.
maintenance, and
Common.
also you have to pay for the water. Or
Right.
the
Okay.
water, if it's multi-tenant, the water is split into four because we have four
Mm.
tenants.
Got it.
So
Got
things
it.
like that. So you as a landlord would make
That decision. Yeah. You know
that
what's coming to my mind, girl? I'm thinking about, everywhere you turn, there is one of those salon studios where it's like a building with like 50 different, and it's more than, I guess it's more than salons, but it's normally like a salon studio. And it's like a building with, I don't know, let's say 20 rooms. One of my, the lady that does my hair, she was telling me that rent for just one of those tiny spaces was like over $1,000 a month. And I started adding up, like, okay, there's no way that this building could be like $20,000 a month, right? I mean, it could be. I don't know because again, it's not my area. But I'm like $1,000 for this tiny little room. This man is racking up. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Mm.
So, and that's why I wanted to. I know we're supposed to be talking about
No,
my
no,
success
yeah.
story, and that is one of my success stories. It was actually a
Wow.
barber. He was looking for a shop for himself and another barber,
Mm-hmm.
and we found that spot. But we also found two additional rooms that he could rent within his budget.
Mm.
So that allows him to pay less rent,
Right.
or right, or hopefully both of them
Cover
are
his rent.
occupied. Yeah. So and the booth rent. So
Right.
all of that is paid. Um.
Jesus.
Yes.
I need to get into this, girl. This is getting good. Listen, so let's kind of back up. So, what inspired you to even start in commercial real estate? Like, what was that like?
Um, what inspired me? I would say definitely the lack of access,
Mm,
my love for business, number
mm-hmm,
one. So as I said, or I worked at Waffle House,
mm-hmm,
I did HR recruiting, and I
mm-hmm,
really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the training of individuals. I enjoyed the P&L sheet, trying to get the balance sheet correct with the inventory. That was stuff I really enjoyed,
right.
but I also enjoy interfacing with the customers. Now,
Mm,
with HR, of course, you have that, but working remotely, it wasn't as in your face or in
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
whereas Waffle House was.
Yeah.
So with
You making me
commercial
so
real estate,
hungry, girl. You making me so hungry. You see Waffle House. Go ahead.
we're not getting a Waffle House.
Oh my God. I know these
Okay,
£5. Oh my God. Sorry. Go ahead.
we're not getting
Mm.
period. Okay. So yes, that my love for
Mm-hmm.
business, my goal for generational wealth for sure.
Right.
Not just for me, I really feel like if minorities, women invested in commercial real estate, we could truly close the wealth gap.
Mm.
There,
Wow.
I even if you're not physically owning a property, there are so many ways for you to put in money to where you own a certain portion of a fund
Okay.
that has real estate.
Okay.
And real estate has always been something that, stays, right?
Mm.
Um, of course, land is more stable because the land goes nowhere, but
Mm-hmm.
it is one of the things that I see could take my family a lot further. And
Right.
they have done amazingly well. Like,
Wow.
so I want to do better.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
that's right.
I think commercial
Jesus.
real estate is definitely that vehicle.
I know that's right. Listen, so as a black woman, right, and when I was hearing you talk, I was thinking, just knowing you for these few months, I could see how you would be very successful in this career because I feel like you are a networking, like you are good at networking. You're good at, you're good with people. I feel like I would definitely trust you if I wanted to, invest in commercial real estate because I feel like you would definitely go the extra mile for your clients. But as a black woman in commercial real estate, like what type of challenges have you encountered being a minority, being a female in the commercial real estate space? Mm.
I would say starting a lack of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing as much as we said, like we didn't know about it. So what I did with that was I took boot camps, I went to certain classes, I invested in certain classes,
Mm-hmm.
I joined mentorship programs. So having in commercial real estate, the father has been in real estate for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's passing it down to his son and so on and so forth, right? That
Yeah.
book of business.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, there are people who are working commercial real estate at 75. They just
Mm.
accept the clients they want, make the money they want. Um, and with that being said, it the knowledge could definitely differ
Right.
depending on if your family's been in it before.
Right. Right. It's funny you say that, girl, because you know what's funny? Um Generational wealth is something that unfortunately black people have been robbed of over the years, and it's very disgusting. And being a black person or black woman specifically, like in corporate America space, you never know what you can say or what you hear that will trigger, like, we didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving you an example. Where I work, one of the leaders, right, has said several times how, the property that they live on was something that was handed down to them from like the 1700s. And they're very, happy and eager to say how, they live on this huge plot of land that was passed down generation to generation. And all I keep thinking every time this white man says this is like, I wonder who built your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder who built this, like who fertilized this property that you're on, that you've had since the 1800s. And when I hear you talk, I'm thinking about generational wealth and like what we can do for our children, because unfortunately, like our parents, our grandparents, they were clearly point blank period robbed. They built these properties, a lot of these properties, they built a lot of this land, but they were robbed of it. And every time and I hate to go on this history tangent, but every time black people would grow businesses and build these different real estate, back then, it would be burned down, or it would be taken by white man. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear you speak, all I'm thinking about is, wow, this is very empowering. I think about the ancestors hearing this beautiful Black woman talk about commercial real estate on this land that we, that we built. It's just, to me, it's just very empowering to know that we're educating ourselves, Black women, Black men, whoever, to start to get a piece of what is ours. I can only imagine how gratifying that would be to like help people get to that dream. You know what I'm saying? Because it's ours. We just
Right.
taking it back. We're just taking it back.
And not only that, just
Yeah.
like I'm dealing with businesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm helping with the employment,
Right.
so understanding I'm putting monies in this like business owner's pockets and his
Mm-hmm.
employees' pockets.
Right.
I'm finding him a space that's comfortable enough for him to pay his employees
Mm-hmm.
or her employees.
Yeah.
I feel like I really enjoyed that aspect as well. And not to mention, I'm a single mother, time
Mm-hmm.
freedom.
Right. Ooh.
And of
Yes.
course you have to be disciplined.
Mm.
However, I say this now, corporate stress, if it's a bad environment,
Mm-hmm.
is definitely different from entrepreneurship stress, but it's
Mm-hmm.
still stress.
Mm.
Yes.
Jesus. Corporate stress is a whole different beast, girl. That's why I'm out here pumping these videos out. Because, girl, like, ooh, like I admire the fact that I think I was following you on Instagram, and I'm like, she's getting up and she's walking her dog while I'm sitting here at this desk, like building this corporation. And I know people glamorize and, entrepreneurship. And I know that it's very difficult, and you
Ooh,
probably work
honey.
harder sometimes than, not sometimes, I'm sure obviously you work way harder, because I can just sit here on the clock and ride the clock if I ain't got nothing to do. But you every hour, every minute for an entrepreneur is you making money. You know what I'm saying? But ooh, girl, like I look at entrepreneurs, and it's a whole different mentality, a whole different skill set to be able to just rely on your ability to go get it. There's nobody like making you get up in the morning and do the like. I'm constantly seeing you like moving and constantly seeing you educating people on your Instagram and stuff like that. It takes discipline. It truly takes discipline.
It does. But you have discipline. You are knocking out those podcasts. So let's
But
get into that.
I know, but that's not full time. So you doing this full time? You doing this full time, getting an income, girl? Like I'm having to do both with stress, with
Right.
horrible stress, with horrible stress. So you mentioned your success story earlier. Like, can you expound on that? So you were able to help did I hear a Black couple or a Black man get a space? So tell me about that.
Yes. So JB Cuts, follow him on Instagram.
Okay.
He is a great barber, luxury service.
Yes.
And
Is he in Charlotte?
he is actually in Columbia, South
Columbia.
Carolina.
Okay, cool. Not far.
Okay. So I focus on South Carolina and North Carolina, everyone.
Yes.
Okay. So he wanted a barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
So with the barbershop, he wanted to at least have one chair.
Okay.
So
And he's
of
in
course, that
Columbia,
chair was
right? Columbia, South Carolina?
in South Carolina, JB Cuts.
JB
He's an amazing
Cuts.
barber.
Nice.
Okay. So he wanted one additional chair to be able to fit in his barbershop.
Right.
However, we were looking for properties
Mm-hmm.
and we found a perfect property for him because he is definitely luxury, gives luxury service like
Ooh,
with facials and things like that. I was
nice.
able to get him a property with a balcony
Oh my
with two
God.
additional tenants, which means now he doesn't have to pay all of his lease
Right.
because he's subletting that property for his tenants. So
Jesus.
it just seems it's amazing because I helped this young Black man.
Young Black man. Let's lift
And
these young Black men up.
yeah,
Yeah. I
and
love
hopefully
it.
he'll be a long-time client. He is
Exactly.
looking for more properties. So I enjoy that.
Yeah, I can
It's like
imagine.
residential where you're going up with your clients and in that aspect, except for his business. So yeah,
Right.
I enjoy it.
I'm gonna have to definitely drop his information because we definitely want to make these Black businesses grow. So listen. So what advice would you give to someone's going to be like, let's just paint this scene because we're manifestors. This is going to be a number one podcast in America. Let's say that number one. But when some young lady hears your words and she's like, you know what? I'm stressed out working this job. I have a passion to help people. I have a passion to educate myself and build generational wealth for my family. I have a passion for real estate and all those things. What advice would you give someone who wants to, get started in the commercial real estate space?
I would say, of course, get your real estate
Mm-hmm.
license. I am the type who like to have things prepared,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, um, have your real estate license. Once you get your real estate license, you could start interviewing companies the
Mm-hmm.
same way they interview you, you interview them as well. So there are bigger firms where you can get a draw a month, which
Mm.
is essentially something you may or may not have to pay back depending
Okay.
on your commission, right? Or you can go 1099 like me, find a property. I'm sorry, find a firm,
Mm-hmm.
1099. However, I feel like one thing that's very important with being a commercial broker is ensuring that you have the resources.
Mm.
So you want to make sure that that firm has co-star
Mm-hmm.
capability. They have like a platform where you can make your cold calls, because cold calling is very important.
Oh, wow.
See, will they pay for certain organizations for you to get involved in the community? Because the organizations can be costly.
Wow. I can imagine.
Yes.
Mm-mm-mm.
However, anything worth doing is not easy, right?
Jesus.
So I enjoy it.
Mm.
I enjoy it. What I can say is have faith,
Yeah. Mm.
have faith, but do the work. Be disciplined.
Right. And you make your own schedule. You basically manage yourself and your business.
Right. So
Wow.
if you're going the 1099 route, you do make your own schedule.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you go with certain firms, they are requiring you to become 9 to 5, and you, like I said, you clock in, clock
Mm-hmm.
out. Um, However, whatever you want, as far as, I would say, base it upon pay, right?
Mm.
So, if you're not able to go without pay, I would go with
A nine to
maybe
five.
a larger firm,
Mm.
because you'll probably get something. However, 1099, you have to believe in yourself
Yeah. Mm. That sounds
and
stressful,
just make
girl. Ooh, that sounds stressful.
resources. Make sure you're always getting the resources,
Yeah.
no matter who you're with.
Yeah.
You That is required.
Right.
Yes.
And this is such a good segue into the networking piece, girl. So, like, let me give you your flowers here on the podcast. Like, here's something you don't know that I think was so stupid and funny in my head, right? So, we spoke about Southern Edge, right? The liquor brand that we work with. And I remember this is so dumb, honestly. I remember we had a meeting, right? On that Saturday morning in Rock Hill. I remember I came to the meeting. I had on workout clothes, sweats, no makeup, looking a hot mess. Right? I'm thinking, okay, this is whatever. And I remember you walked in, girl. You was dressed up. You was looking good. You was promoting. You're always in promoting networking mode. I feel like you are a walking. You're a walking powerhouse, a walking like advertisement. I'm like, damn, that is so cool. I should have dressed up. Like, I think I should have dressed up too. And I remember seeing you like networking even at that meeting and talking to like the owner's wife and just constantly promoting and networking your business. And I feel like that's something that again, I'm older than you, but shit, that's something that I literally like just started to get comfortable with. And it is something that's so vital, whether you're in corporate space or whether you're in an entrepreneur space. Networking, I have found, is such an important tool. How have you become so comfortable with networking? I mean, I can't imagine, and maybe it was, but was it always just so easy to be able to like network? And what's the importance of like networking and like having a mentor?
Yes. So thank you, girl. I appreciate you.
Sorry, so silly.
I really enjoy talking about my business.
Mm,
I really do. And I enjoy, and I feel like you have to believe in your product. So if you
yeah.
don't believe in your product, it's going to be very hard to talk
Mm,
about. So, like, people will have to shut me up.
yeah.
I have learned to really be my authentic self.
Mm.
Like I have to be myself.
Right.
I working in different corporate spaces, you learn to assimilate,
Mm. Code
right?
switch, y'all.
However, being an entrepreneur, I feel like you have the right to actually pick your clients,
Mm.
right? Of course, so with that being said, I don't want that type of stress. So
Right.
I always feel like I gravitate to my people, you
Mm.
know? I feel like I have that energy. I gravitate to my people.
Right.
I feel like, hey, how are you, girl?
And
You know,
you're
I
good at it,
already
girl. You
have,
be killing it. I ain't gonna lie. I be thinking, God,
I
I might open my mouth and she over here talking to everybody in the room. I'm like, I thought I was a talker, but this girl got me beaten. I feel like I need to learn some stuff from her for real. Jesus.
listen, this is why you have to be around good girlfriends because let me tell you, I have been told by other girlfriends like you talk too much. Like,
Ugh.
oh, listen, I have been told like you talk too much. Like you want to, like I feel like it's. And number one, I'm very ladylike, very graceful.
Right.
You know, my
Right.
mother is color.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I am very social.
Mm.
You know,
Right.
I am social, but girls have been like, oh, you know. So I say
Haters.
that to say that's why it's very important to be around some good people
Right.
because nobody should be dimming your light.
Mm-mm.
That is number one. I feel like with any career that you have,
No.
corporate or 1099, right?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Or entrepreneur.
Right.
So yeah, so I have finally gotten into it, I'll say around 30 years old, to where I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? I'm gonna be my authentic self. So I go
Right.
to networking events, I tell people about what I do, and I always feel like it's very important to talk for them to talk more than me. I
Mm.
want to talk about them, you know?
Wow.
Um, yeah.
And I was talking to you. It's so funny because I was thinking. I think I said this to you that at that same meeting. I'm like, wow, this made me realize that I need to have an elevator speech. Like again, you are very 100% right. Like you have to be around people. You should never be the smartest person in your group. And you should be around
Right.
people who are constantly elevating you and pushing you to your potential. And I remember like thinking, dang, here I am at this podcast in this room of people, like, I should be really doing what I see you doing. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, she is killing it, like talking to everybody, like networking over here, over there, over there. Who was everywhere in the room? I'm like, that is fire. Like, that is so fire. I'm thinking, damn, I need to come up with an elevator speech, because you just never know. Like, I remember one day, I was stopped because on my back of my car, I have my podcast Instagram. I never
Really
forget.
good.
I was stopped at a gas station, and this older white man, very nice guy, he said to me, "Do you have a podcast?" I was like, and it threw me off because I mean, here I am on this big ass sign on the back of my car, but no one ever like said that to me. And he was like, "You have a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "What is it about?" And I drew a complete blank because I'm like, oh my God, he asked me this question, and here it is plastered on my car. But that just goes to show what I see you doing in, like, I literally have seen you do that in every space I've ever seen you in. You're constantly promoting yourself, promoting your business, showing your skills. Like, to me, you make people feel comfortable with working with you to educate themselves in commercial real estate. And for 100%, I've literally told my friends about you, like, listen, we need to find out about this commercial real estate because this girl, like, she is educated. She knows what she's doing. She's going to work with you. Like, you have to sell yourself. And that's a skill that I feel like people do not focus on. It's great to have the book education. It's great to have, all of that knowledge. Like, that's great. But if that
Right.
shit is just in your head and you cannot articulate it, you cannot walk in a room of people who don't look nothing like you and be able to feel comfortable and sell yourself like you said, it does no good. It does no good,
It does no good
Mm.
because they're not going to listen, you
Mm-mm.
know?
Mm-mm.
From the
Mm-mm.
first thing they're going to be looking at is their appearance, which can be
Yes.
shallow, right?
Yeah.
However, I've learned I talk to any and everyone,
Right.
okay?
Right.
That's just the guy to me,
Right.
right? But
Mm.
anyway, with that being said, understanding that when you're networking, it's okay to be uncomfortable,
Right.
right? Because these are not typical people we have in our family. Like we
Right.
said, we don't know much about them.
Right.
So we're learning
Right.
the same way. Go in there as a student.
Mm.
I have always said I'm always a student.
Right.
I am sometimes a teacher because
Right.
I will never know everything.
Mm.
And that's why I enjoy commercial real estate as
Right.
well. Like I'm consistently learning. It's the
Right.
bookie in me,
Yeah.
right? It's the studiousness.
Yeah.
Like so I enjoy that and
Mhm.
commercial real estate enhances that.
Yeah.
Like it's a requirement. You have to consistently learn.
Right. And you
The
know, it's
network.
funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead, girl. I'm cutting you off.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, go.
Well, it's funny because it when you're an entrepreneur, I feel like everywhere you go, you have to be ready to sell yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to be ready to talk about your business. And I think about like this is something that's always irked me. Like people who do hair, who be walking around with their hair looking a mess. I'm like, you are a hairstylist and you are a walking business card for yourself. So I would never like if you walking around and your hair is looking a hot mess, I would never work with I would never like book you to do my hair. I just feel like when you are in an entrepreneurial space, you don't really get that off. Like I feel like you never know the opportunity that you're gonna get at a gas station, at an event, wherever.
Right.
You have to always be on ready. And that's something I have to learn, even in the podcast space.
Yes, but also understanding I'm not about I say be disciplined, but I'm not about the hustle culture,
Right.
right?
Okay.
So I say that to say when I'm spending time with my family,
Mm-hmm.
I need to focus on time with my
Right.
family, right?
Right.
I am focusing more on self-care now.
Mm-hmm.
I when I need my time, I need my time, you
Right.
know?
Right.
So that's very important. So understanding that trying to make some type of balance in that way, in addition to having like a target. Hey, I want to pass out 30 cards a
Mm.
day.
Discipline.
I want I want to walk the block. Like now I have like integrated walking the block,
Wow.
which means like going to different tenants saying, "Hey, how are you?"
Oh wow.
Introducing. So have those KPIs,
Mm-hmm.
that you normally have in corporate.
Exactly.
That's like you learn that. So have that. Hey, I'm gonna price out 30 of my cards, or I'm gonna tell 30 people about my business.
Right.
And you're doing well then. I feel
Right.
like that's yeah.
Nice.
Set those
All right.
parts.
So we have two more questions. I'm gonna let you go, girl. I know you are an early sleeper and it's late at night. Listen. Okay. So here's something I'm actually interested in this answer. Being a female, being a minority female in the commercial real estate space, do you feel like your community supports you? Do you feel like they look to you as someone that they like run to for, commercial real estate, to book you, I guess, not to book you, but to hire you or whatever? Like, do you feel support from your community? Be honest.
I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
Okay, so with commercial real estate, this is going in to be, I'll say, my third year,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the goal is to make yourself known in any service industry,
Right.
right? So that was my goal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've achieved that in Charlotte.
Right.
So now the goal is essentially to start doing increasing in contracts,
Right.
right? So I feel like I have been supported from many people,
Mm.
from knowledge, like allies. Oh my gosh,
Right.
they will get you in the door because honestly, they're in the door.
Right.
So I have had many allies within commercial real estate. As I said, I've joined the mentorship program. I paid for classes, paid for
Right.
boot camps. So what I know as far as my community personally,
Mm-hmm.
Black
Right.
and things like that, I feel as though it's more of an educational
Yeah.
tool,
Yeah.
because we have to learn more about it. A lot of us don't. Even with finding different properties, like with leasing, I can help business owners with leasing, going to get a property lease,
Oh
right?
wow.
So if they have a business, I'm able to negotiate the contract with the landlord
That's right.
to ensure them as a tenant is being protected and well
Right.
taken care of.
Right.
Most people don't know that. They
Mm.
pass by something, they see a number on the door, they call that broker and they negotiate with the broker themselves.
Wow.
However, I feel like with other races, they
Mm-hmm.
know this, you
Right.
know? So it's just like there's a psychologist for someone when you need to talk to someone, we're a commercial broker. We
Right.
help ensure that the deal is effective and you're winning on your
Right.
contract, you know?
Perfect.
So yeah.
So my final question, because we want to get you the business, right? We want to have you being the number one commercial real estate person in Charlotte and surrounding and in the state. Listen, we're manifesting this today. So if someone is listening and they are interested in commercial real estate, and let's say they have the capital to be able to, because I know some people who have the capital to who are interested in the real estate, but maybe they're not educated in the difference between like residential and commercial, and they want to get started. What should they do? Do they just reach out to you? Like, what is the first step to be able to find out what their options are?
Yes, most definitely reach out to me. Even if you're not in that South Carolina or North Carolina, I can always refer you to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Reach out to me. My goal would be to do an assessment of your business,
Right.
essentially what you should be preparing for. If you've already prepared, what you should be looking for as far as a property, seeing which sector you would like to go, whether it's for me, retail or industrial, or another property, then I will have to refer you to
Okay.
someone because witches is in the niches.
Right.
But I do retail and industrial, then
Okay.
I'll be able to help you with that type of property type.
What's industrial?
Others,
What is that?
industrial is essentially warehouses,
Okay.
distribution centers,
Nice.
yeah, things like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
And
Cool.
mhm.
So they reach out to you. So Sharese, tell our listeners and our viewers, where can they reach out to you to be educated on commercial real estate, to connect with you if they're ready to listen. I am speaking this into existence. People are going to listen to this and they're going to be like, hey, I need to contact Sharese because I'm ready to put my money where my mouth is. Where can they contact you? Where can they reach you?
First of all, thank you so much, Mel,
Ah,
for allowing me to be on the podcast. I
absolutely.
feel so good.
You
I have learned that I am much better in person than I am when
are
I
a
do.
mess.
Okay. Anyway,
Oh my
but
god.
thank you so much, Mel, for allowing me to be on your
Girl, of
podcast. You
course.
are amazing. That
Thank
scary
you.
podcast is amazing.
Yeah.
The best way to contact me is my handle for IG below,
Okay.
Sharese Commercial Retail Broker. My LinkedIn is Sharese Leggette,
Okay. I'll put it
ShareseLeggett.
all this in a description.
Oh, okay. Well,
A B C D E F G H.
so should I say my number?
Yes, your number, everything.
Oh,
Like how can people get in contact with you?
yeah. So LinkedIn,
Yep.
my Instagram, and my phone. Please call me
Right.
843-372-5141.
Nice.
Again, 843-372-5141.
Nice. Listen, Cherise, I am so excited that I had you on the show, girl. People were excited about this episode because I was speaking this up, like commercial real estate, because it's a lot of, here's the thing, like people don't understand. There's a lot of people who, even in this economy, who have money that want to put their money to make their money work for them. And to me, what I know is that real estate is always a place to go to make your money work for you. And I feel like that commercial real estate space is an industry that needs to be tapped into, and we have a resource here on the show that can get you what you need in the commercial real estate space. Any last words?
I always wanted, this is what I believe,
Mhm.
okay? We as people talk about gentrification, right? In neighborhoods and things like that. The neighborhood is changing. The best way to have a say so is to own those
Right.
buildings. The best way to have a say so in gentrification. And it's
Yes.
not horrible. You
No.
know, who doesn't want their community to look better? Have your hand in it as well so you can
Wow.
advocate for those people in the neighborhood, us in the neighborhood, those elderlies in the neighborhood. have a hand.
Wow.
And of course, I myself have aspirations and will own commercial real estate as well.
Mm.
However, I am around an ample amount of individuals who have and who are currently doing it, and I see the amazing benefits.
I am claiming it over me, child. When this show become number one, I'm about to be buying up all the real estate here in Charlotte and surrounding areas. Listen, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another educational, amazing episode of the That Scary with Melanie P podcast. I'm going to put all of Sharese's information in the description. Make sure you reach out to her. Make sure you follow her on social media. She has a bunch of great videos too for you to listen to and be inspired by in the morning. But make sure you are subscribed and following both of us on social media, guys. We will see you next week.